Before we go any further, I think it's really important that we talk about some math symbols and how you can do those in Word when you're trying to create the symbols that you need for your homework. So it's pretty important that you know how to do this. So as you can see here, we have a Word document open, and I've typed in math symbols refresher. And I've got the font set pretty big here so that it's really easy for you to see. Of course, you'll be using a 12-point font. So let's talk first about this insert tab right here. All you have to do is insert either an equation or a symbol, and you'll be able to use any kind of math symbol that you need. So one symbol that we're going to use quite a bit, you have to actually go to equation to use, and you see it says type equation here. And really all we want is the ability to put a little accent on top of our screen. This one right here, you see it says bar. We're going to be using a symbol called X bar quite a bit. So I'm gonna click on this square and type in X. And what X bar means, and here I'll use the equal sign, and that's just on the keyboard on the top right. X bar is the symbol for mean. So, that also means average, as we've learned. So whenever you need to write the mean or you see X bar, it means, it's defined as the mean. The next symbol that we want to know how to do is X sub I. So if you just type in an X and then an I like that, you can highlight the I and then click up here on this subscript. This is, as you see, just in the home section. There's this little subscript, and that will give you X sub I. And what X sub I is, I'm going to click it again to go back to normal text. That is the response from each individual. And you'll see that that's pretty important when we talk about adding up the X sub I that we have. Every X sub I is basically each response that you get, each number that you get from a person in response to your question on your survey. So speaking of adding up, let's look at that symbol. If you go to insert and then symbol, and for me it comes up right on top because I've used it often before. You might have to click on more symbols and go searching for it, but this one right here, this summation, that means add it up. It's telling you as a command to add it up. And you'll see that at the beginning of many formulas that we're going to use. Every time you see this symbol right here, this sigma, that means add up however many times you have what's following it. And often you'll see something like add up X sub I, subtracting the mean. That's the difference of each individual response from the mean. We'll see that with formulas later on in this lecture. And then the final symbol that I want to show you, and it's very simple, it's just a lowercase n. And of course you know how to type that, but that means, oh, and my autocorrect made it a big N. Let's go back and make it a lowercase n. The big N is the population in your sample for the little n, and if it were a big N, it would be the population in the entire target population. So big N is really reserved for the entire universe that you're looking at, and most often what we'll see is the little n because that's the population in the sample that we're taking all of the statistics on. So hopefully that will help you.